Viewer, Carrie Kira Star Ellis, with COBRA. Carrie, hi there, this is Carrie Ellis, author of 21st Century Superhuman, and this is our 21st Century Superhuman show. Today we have with us a great warrior for the light, COBRA. And COBRA, welcome, we are so grateful to have you here today. COBRA, thank you, it's a pleasure to be here, to be part of this interview. Carrie, awesome. COBRA, you have a pulse on global happenings. We know that you are closely associated with our galactic neighbors, that you are a liaison for the forces of light. We're excited to have you answer some questions today, and have you give us your point of view on how things are going in this great time of planetary change. Our first screen here shows that you have 22 million views at your website, so you have a great following, and people around the world are hungry to know what's happening in this time of change. Your website is called The Portal, the intelligence hub for the victory of the light. Question: I have a lot of listeners who probably haven't been around your material over the last few years. Can you tell us a little about who COBRA is, and where you come from? COBRA: okay, I have been chosen by the resistance movement to be their spokesperson on the surface of the planet, in this very special time in the liberation of the planet. COBRA is a code name that I have been given for this particular time period. Carrie: nice. Very cool. Question: can you tell us a little bit more about what the resistance movement is? COBRA: the resistance movement are forces of light that are hidden below the surface of the planet, and are preparing to assist us. And they are assisting us actually in this liberation process. I would say they are one faction of the Agartha network, a part of Agartha. Carrie: you say they are connected with Agartha? COBRA: yes. Carrie: nice, very nice. And so Agartha is one of the inner Earth civilizations. I know there are differences between those. Wonderful. COBRA: yes. Carrie: so what is the view from your multidimensional perspective in dealing with all the forces at play in this great transition? How do you see this big play taking place? COBRA: it is a very complex process, and usually things do not turn out as they were planned, because there are so many factors involved, so much free will in different directions, so many things happening. It's a very complex situation. Slowly but surely we are progressing toward the completion of this situation. We are getting closer and closer to the final breakthrough. Carrie: yes, I believe we are as well. It's been a long time coming, too. COBRA: yes, it's true. Carrie: question: what are some of the complexities that have existed in other dimensions that have needed to be resolved? COBRA: the main thing that needs to be resolved is the so-called primary anomaly. The primary anomaly is, I would say, the original source of all darkness and suffering. Planet Earth is a focal point of this resolution. So we are now at the key place and key time in history with singularities to resolve this. And this is the main reason why this is taking so long and why it is so complex. Carrie: yes. Very interesting. Question: I know there's been a lot of technical devices and various things that I probably don't even know how to pronounce properly. How much more of the strangelet bombs and other espionage technology that is out there, how much is left to clear? And how is that affecting humanity? COBRA: there is a certain degree of this that still has to be cleared, but much has been resolved, and there is a deeper occult reason why we have been quarantined in the first place, why we've been hostages in the first place. Without that technology we would have been free some time ago. Carrie: question: how is that quarantine working? I've heard, hasn't the quarantine somewhat been lifted at this point? COBRA: It is in the process of being lifted, but it has not been lifted yet. Because when the quarantine will be lifted, we will no longer be limited to the surface of the planet. The surface population will not just be limited to the surface of the planet, but space travel will open again. Contact with other races will open again. Carrie. Nice. Very good. That is excellent. Question: it seems that plasma energy has been used for damaging space weaponry by other races and perhaps even in our own ancient history. It is now emerging as a possible solution to our planetary energy needs and space travel. Would you give us your input on this? COBRA. Okay, plasma plainly is one of the biggest secrets, one of the most suppressed aspects of creation, and the plasma plainly is both the key for suppression of knowledge, and the key for our liberation. And advanced beings using these technologies are helping right now with the planetary liberation process. Carrie. Question: so do you feel the proper use of plasma energy will play a role in this? COBRA. Yes, exactly. Carrie. Very good. Question: do you see humanity able to work together for viable solutions and go beyond the need for war? Do you think we've gotten to that point yet? COBRA. We will get to that point when the cabal is removed. Carrie. I have some questions for you on that. We'll get to those in just a little bit and talk about that some more. Question: is the resistance movement working with the Sphere Being Alliance, the Andromedans, or any particular galactic race or collective? COBRA. Yes, the resistance movement is working especially with the Pleiadians, it is also working with Andromedans, it is working with Galactic Confederation and so-called Central Race that some people call the Sphere Beings. Carrie. Very nice. Excellent. I'll ask you a random question, here. Question: what can you tell us about the Dragon's Gate? COBRA. I will not answer this question, at this point. Carrie. Okay, let's go on and maybe at a future time we can discuss that. COBRA. Yes, when the time is right. Carrie. Okay, perfect. That will be wonderful. Question: so has the collective shifted enough to turn the tide with what is going on the planet? COBRA. Not yet, but we're getting closer. Carrie. Okay. Very good. Question: what will it take for more cabal arrests and a real transformation of the old system? COBRA. As I've said many times before, the transformation of all the exotic weapons has to happen first. This is what gives the Chimera the power to protect the cabal. The cabal by itself is no longer able to sustain themselves. Without the protection of the Chimera they would have been cleared a long time ago. Carrie. Question: so what is happening with the clearing of the Chimera group and the exotic weapons? COBRA. It is progressing quite nicely and there will be some breakthroughs in this area soon. And hopefully if there are no surprises we will quite soon arrive to the end of this. Carrie. Question: and is that something that there is a whole collective working on? Or who is working on that and helping make that happen? COBRA. The Pleiadians and the Galactic Confederation are working on this. Carrie. Good. Question: so do you, COBRA, and the resistance movement have a plan how to repurpose the banking system and military-industrial complex to something that serves the people, or how will that change take place? COBRA. Oh yes, of course there's a plan, I have spoken about it many times. Basically when the Chimera group is removed and the cabal arrested, actually the Eastern Alliance is already preparing the new financial system, which will be just a transitional financial system, which will help us go through the transition to the point where the first contact happens. Then advanced technologies will be released to humanity that will assist humanity in going through that change to become part of co-partners in the Galactic Federation. As a sovereign race, I would say, connecting with other sovereign races throughout the galaxy. Carrie. Very nice. So advanced technologies will be given as we get ready to step up to the plate to that level of being a sovereign race. Cobra. Yes. Carrie. Question, what is it going to take for us as a collective to move beyond the power over agendas and into global equality? Cobra. The same thing here. We have to remove the cabal. I would say, all those exotic technologies, the plasma technology, the Vril technology, etheric and scalar devices are influencing human consciousness. Carrie. Right. Cobra. The non-physical archons are pressing the buttons, psychologically manipulating especially the most advanced light workers and light warriors. When this is removed, it will be much easier for all those beings to work together. This is what we are waiting for. Carrie. Question, would you say this a reason that some of the light workers are still kind of attacking each other? Is that something that is being energetically manipulated? Cobra. Exactly. This is what's going on. Carrie. Very good. That's good to know about the scalar weapons. It is so complex, and I appreciate you answering these questions for our audience. I know many of these things you've spoken about before, but it's always nice to have a review from you. Because I know there are many people waking up and learning every day. Question, we've been told of global collateral accounts positioned to move into circulation to serve humanity. How close do you think we are? What are the holdups, if any? Cobra. The problem is the cabal is still controlling the financial system. The infrastructure of the financial system is in the hands of the cabal. The collateral accounts cannot be released until this is addressed. This situation will be solved during the event when the light forces will take over the financial system. Carrie. It is a complex situation, isn't it? Cobra. Yes. Carrie. Question, so who do you see stepping into emerging leadership roles in these areas? Cobra. There are people, especially in the Eastern Alliance, that are quite capable and have been trained for this purpose and will assist when the time is right. Carrie. Very nice. Question, so the average person is still struggling in literally every country in the world. I know there are a lot of shifts that need to take place, but is there anything you could throw a little light on, that would help us understand, what is it going to take beyond these other shifts we've been talking about to make this gigantic leap into global abundance? I mean, I realize we've got shifting monetary systems and shifting governmental systems, and needing to remove the global elite from their position of power. How do you see us making this leap, which seems like a giant leap from where we are? It seems like the suffering gets to be more all the time. Cobra, okay, what needs to happen is the breakthrough. The breakthrough is the change of the paradigm. The change of the paradigm happens when the critical mass of new intel is released through the mass media. This will create the breakthrough. The media are now under the control of the cabal. And when this control has diminished to a certain point, there will be a massive release of intel through the mass media. This will suddenly create a breakthrough in the thinking patterns of humanity. This will be the catalyst for the change. Carrie, very good. And we've already got that happening at subtle levels in the undercurrent of the unofficial news that's going on. Certainly the movement that direction is already happening. But that's good perspective. I really appreciate that insight. Question, so many of the light workers who have awakened and exited the old system like Neo did in the movie, The Matrix, are still struggling. I see it in people I'm connected with all around the world. What can be done now to assist those, or how can they assist themselves, who are ready to build new lives and communities? How do they get these things going? COBRA, people who are struggling financially need to do a few things. First is to start clearing their belief systems. Their patterns of lack of abundance, their belief systems about money, and this will begin to give them power for themselves to create abundance in their lives. They can become an instrument of good, a force of good, because the money they will manifest will assist them in their mission. It will assist them in becoming more effective in the process of planetary integration. Carrie, very good. That's excellent. So not just sitting around and waiting for global collateral accounts to move, but to begin changing their own belief systems about abundance being able to come in. COBRA, yes, and do not be a victim of the current system. Start finding ways to manifest abundance outside the matrix. Carrie, excellent. Excellent. Question, so the prophecies of the ancients called this time, the shift of the ages. What are the most important things people can be doing at this time, knowing that many of us volunteered to be here in this now? COBRA, yes. What is most important right now is to spread information, to start new blogs, to spread this as far as possible. Inform as many people as possible, about whatever you know, whatever you are aware of this change that is happening. Carrie, excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I like to encourage everyone to listen to their hearts and to take action. That is great. Everybody should be starting their own communication system to start spreading the word. Question, so it's my understanding, this is what we teach in my book, 21st Century Superhuman, that every person carries the seeds within themselves of activating this change. What do you suggest for people to expand this change within themselves? COBRA, it is simply to connect with your higher self, with your own soul. You will receive guidance from there. Carrie, excellent. The answers are always beautiful and simple. COBRA, yes, it's true. Carrie, how do you see current events fitting in with the ascension timetable you have recently been writing about? COBRA, this ascension timetable speaks about after the event, and we're still in the pre-event phase. We are not there yet. Carrie, right. Question, so how do you see as far as current events on the planet go? Do you think any of that is playing into bringing the event closer, or is it not really related? COBRA, there are many things happening behind the scenes that are bringing the event closer, and there is a part of the cabal that wants to delay the event. So both things are happening at the same time. Carrie, right. The cabal wants to what the event? COBRA, they want to delay the event as much as possible. Carrie, right. So what are they doing to delay it? COBRA, they are creating chaos, they are trying to start wars around the planet, they are withdrawing the funds, they are stealing money, they are, you know what they do. Carrie, chuckles, I know, right. It seems like a really old game, doesn't it? COBRA, yes. Carrie, okay COBRA, so can you tell us more about the event? I know you've talked about it a lot, but if there's any more that you could tell us. How close we are and what we're likely to experience. I realize you've talked about it a lot, so if you have a little bit of expansion on that you can share with us, we'd love to hear it. COBRA, well, there is not much new to say, simply we are getting closer and closer. I am not here to tell how close we are. I don't want to give grounds to speculation, but know that there are plans and there are actions taking place every day to bring us to the exact moment of the event. This is happening daily, and you can participate. Carrie, so do you see the event as a cosmic action, or do you see it as a movement in the consciousness of humanity and the planet, or do you see it as a movement of events? COBRA, it is actually a cosmic occurrence, it is completion of the liberation process that is taking place throughout the galaxy for quite some time. Planet Earth is the last planet to be liberated. It will be a completion of our galactic process of leaving the darkness behind. Carrie, very good. Question, so what is top priority for each individual to work on as we move through this transition and closer to the event? COBRA, the top priority is to follow your mission, to use your talents you were born with for the exact purpose of doing whatever you can to assist in this process. Carrie, I think a lot of people maybe stand with one foot in each world. They have a hard time knowing how to leave the old system and how to really step into their own vision. Do you have any encouragement on that front for people? COBRA, simply if you will follow your inner guidance and will follow your dream, you will not be in two worlds. You will be fully stepping into the new world. You will be fully exiting the matrix. Carrie, that is beautiful. Question, any additional thoughts on how we will move beyond the old civilization revealed by recent disclosure and into a more harmonious galactic type of culture? COBRA, again, this transition will happen after the event with a massive release of intel, and then of course, after the first contact, when the massive release of intel will be not just a theory but will be a practical connection with higher positive races. Carrie, very good. That thought is exciting to me. Question, so is there a harmonious galactic culture that you're connected with, that you could tell us how they operate? COBRA, yes, of course. The Pleiadians are a very harmonic race. They are evolved enough over setting an example of this. They have learned through their own growth to live in harmony with each other, and they have created a paradise type of civilization. It is a very natural occurrence. It is not something that is unusual in this universe. You see, what is happening on this planet is unusual. It's an aberration. Harmonious civilizations are where harmony is the norm, the standard, throughout the universe. Carrie, interesting. That's wonderful. I know, yeah, we've been the great experiment in the duality experiment here on Earth, so I'm glad we're coming close to the end of that. Question, so in one of your recent posts you mentioned soul groups. Could you describe a little more about what commonalities such groups might have, and how they can interact with and support each other? COBRA, soul groups are actually souls which were born from the source at the same time, through the galactic central Sunday. They have a big soul connection with each other, and sometimes they are able to recognize each other when they meet in this lifetime especially. Various soul groups have incarnated, especially in this time, in order to find each other and collectively as a group do their mission for the planetary liberation. The Archon forces were interfering with those incarnation plans and were separating various beings from the soul group, and were creating various amnesia fields like implants and other technologies for various members of the soul group not to recognize each other. So there is a lot of opposition to this plan. Carrie, interesting. Yes, very good. Question, we've been reading lately about love warriors and those embodying higher cosmic consciousness at this time. Their power of love is stated to be growing beyond what has been known before upon the earth. Can you give us any input about this? COBRA, well, I would just say that there are various groups that have been present on the planet for quite a long time, they are coming to the forefront. Especially now it's time to unite the energy of love and the energy of power. They are not separated. The power of love is not just a gentle energy. It is a force which stops all negativity and transforms it. Carrie, wow, that is beautiful. Love is a power. Question, so you have at your website some advanced healing systems that include tachyon, Pleiadian technologies, and mandala sphere laser systems. Can you tell us a little bit about those, and if someone wanted to seek out using those, what they would encounter? COBRA, yes, we are developing under the guidance of the Pleiadians and under the guidance of various light force groups. We're developing advanced technologies which can assist as much as possible in the healing process for humanity until the time of the event. One of those technologies is tachyon technology. We are bringing tachyon healing chambers, and there is a formula for healing and wellness that can improve the vibrational frequency of human beings with tachyons. And there are also advanced laser systems which have been developed by certain dragon groups. They are very advanced systems that can bring the healing process to a higher level. If you would like to know more, you can go to the website and you will see everything there. Carrie, does a person have to be in the presence of these technologies, or can they be used from a distance? COBRA, some of those technologies work from a distance, but some of them are actually, people need to be present there. Carrie, it seems like there are some very interesting things there for those who are interested in healing. COBRA, yes. Exactly. Carrie, I understand and have participated in many times. You have a weekly event mediation every Sunday 7 p.m. GMT. Liberation Now? You're calling for 144,000 to be involved in that mediation at the same time. Is that correct? COBRA, yes, that is correct. Carrie, so a great encouragement might be, everyone who gets to know about this can assist by participating in this meditation. Is that what you'd suggest? COBRA, yes. Exactly. We would like to gather as many people as possible for this weekly meditation together for critical mass, in order to speed up the process of the event. And if we would get closer to that number, we could really speed up the process quite much. Carrie, very nice. Is there any specific protocol that you like to encourage during the meditation? Or can someone just sit down and meditate and envision, world peace, world liberation? COBRA, no, we have guidelines for the meditation, and the guidelines are on the blog. All the instructions are there. Carrie, right, and I think I've seen a video on it as well. COBRA, yes. Carrie, correct. So victory of the light is the salutation of people that are following you and are involved in your work. Can you tell us a little bit about where that salutation came from? COBRA, this salutation came from the light forces. Carrie, beautiful. It's really nice. I love it when I hear people or see people writing it. It's a really nice energy field for planet Earth. I see you're having a conference in Switzerland in April. People can find that on your website if they wanted to come and learn with you personally. COBRA, yes, that's right. There's a link on the blog where there are details about the program. People who want to go deeper can attend the conference and there will be much new intel. Very strong transformational energies will be present at it. Carrie, beautiful. I was getting that feeling looking at it on your website. So COBRA, I'm just going to say thank you so much. It would be wonderful if we could do this with you again at some point. Listeners can find you by searching for the Portal 2012 online. You're also associated with the Prepare for Change network. COBRA, yes, that is right. They can just go to the blog, they can find everything about the conferences, the mediation, the technologies, and all the intel I release. It's updated there. Carrie, okay, great. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's always nice to get a fine-tuning to hear you speak to these energies. I just want to thank you so much on behalf of all of our listeners, and those who are seeking to be part of this amazing time of